Hello people, today we're coming back with another one of these videos, except this time instead of Sonic music, it's Sonic games. Now, I will get to Mario at some point, but something about doing the Sonic ones I like doing, probably because, Mario hasn't been doing much recently, and Sonic Frontiers coming out, and just, me playing a lot of Sonic games due to that. I've just been getting into that, round of 32. So TSR versus Sonic Rush. For some reason it's a little jank. Now a side racing game versus a mainline Sonic game, especially with an introduction to Blaze and the boost formula, a better story than TSR's, a lot more replayability, especially because Sonic has had better racing games. Gotta give it to Rush. So depending on the 3D blast, I maybe defend it more, but also Sonic 2 is a really good introduction to Tails. Yeah, I do think a bit of just introducing characters always gives a game a boost up. I mean, Sonic Blast is fun, but you also I feel like you also need that modded version to have fun with it. The Sonic Adventure, Sonic 3D Blast DX. I think it's Sonic Adventure DX, of course. So I just have to get to Sonic 2. Besides, that trilogy is some great 2D. Ooh. Yeah, I'm probably getting flack that I'm not insta-picking Sonic 3, but Sonic 3 I'm just not too fond of. Sonic 3 and Sonic Adventure 2 are like the two everyone praises to death, and I don't get the hype. And I actually really like Lost World. But Sonic Lost World's story is horrible. As much of a Mario fan as I am, I don't like that. It's just basically how many Mario elements are there, especially the Deadly Six just being like the Koopalings. Especially, like, Zavok's literally got, like, the Bowser bracelets, and I guess so does Zaz and Zavok, but you get my point. Like, gameplay-wise, I feel like I'd give it to Lost World, but whole package? I don't know, but I also really love the Lost World soundtrack, but Sonic 3 also has an amazing soundtrack. Oh, man, I'm just gonna have to give it to Sonic 3. I mean, yeah, introduction of Knuckles and just a better story. For the story it has. Okay, so Sonic Rush Adventure, it's basically more Sonic Rush, except if I'm correct, because I haven't played it in a hot minute, it's in Blaze's dimension. I know it does have Maureen, I think her name is, the really annoying character, but the story is still written way better than Sonic Forces. Sonic Forces is literally just straight line the game, so better design alone. Ooh, I like both of these games a lot, and they're both kind of side platformers. Sonic Battle, though, kind of just turns into a simple beat 'em up, while Sonic Riders is a lot better designed when it comes to just its gimmick. And also, I mean, we give the Babylon Rogues, and is this Riders or Zero Gravity? Okay, it's Zero Gravity because 2008. I actually didn't realize that. He's thinking. Okay, I could have looked at the box art. Okay, well, I guess point still stands though, except for the introduction of these characters. It's still a really good story, really good design and stuff, and just the writer's design alone is the best form of racing. Secret rings. Okay, so here's the thing: motion controls can kind of ruin this game, but of course emulated, it's a lot easier to control. But I'm also thinking of base game. And Rivals 2 is just kind of like Rivals 1, if I'm correct. I also haven't played that one in a little bit, neither have I Secret Rings. See, the thing about ranking these though, it's like maybe I should have replayed a bunch of them before, but it is. I really like Secret Rings and super nostalgic for it, and Rivals 2 is pretty good, but I like the play style and just the creativity of Secret Rings more. And of course I grew up with just nostalgic. I don't even have to decide there. As much as I praise Riders in that thing I was talking about before with Zero Gravity, Sonic Adventure, obviously a great introduction to 3D no matter what people say, and I mean, you got fun stories to play through. So Sonic Adventure 2 versus Sonic Advance. I mean, Sonic Adventure you can play as Amy, but I mean, it's kind of just like just a return to 2D for Sonic. Some pretty fun level design, but SA2 is just like more SA1. Even though I don't like Knuckles and Rouge's stages that much, and I don't like Tails and Eggman's at all. But the story's really good, the music's amazing, and Sonic Shadow stages are amazing. kind of for the Sonic Rivals, like I've said, really good, cool ideas, interesting game. Sonic Unleashed, though, also cool idea. Werehog overhated, definitely the best boost stages ever, and a really fun dynamic with Sonic and Chip. Well, yeah, and see, I do feel bad for these side racing games facing like mainline games. Cause like, but here's the thing: Sonic and All Stars Racing is already amazing, and Transform is just like that, but with more. And its controls aren't as janky as Sonic Heroes, but also Sonic Heroes is a mainline game, so there's definitely more to the package. Still a good enough story. Yeah, see, I just feel bad for like these. And the Sonic Advance 3, cool buddy dynamic and stuff. Frontiers, most recent games, so obviously it can be a lot of bias. Now Sonic Tears doesn't have its set of problems. I absolutely love the game to death. Finally brought Sonic back to Sonic, showing that Sonic can still be a mainstay character and not just a joke. So that's huge for as a Sonic fan. So like it's already got iconicness behind it. And Sonic Advance 4, if I'm correct, is the last Ryan Drummond game. So I guess there's some iconicness or coolness to it. But Frontiers, man, just a good return for Sonic. Shadow, be that one guy that's a meme. Nah, I actually like Shadow the Hedgehog unironically. Ooh, Mania vs. Advance. So Advance 2 is my favorite of the trilogy. I mean, I already have a playthrough of it, a bit of it on my channel, so that probably explains why it's there before 1 and such. But Mania is well, way better designed. Though I like this style more. Like, I like that style more, but that doesn't mean this doesn't look amazing. And the music's good for both games, but I would say Mania's is better. I mean, this game introduces to Cream, though, like, but also this has Return of Mighty and Ray, so, I mean, they both have some awesome things character-wise. But yeah, I have to give it this. I think it's just a bigger and better package. Ooh, I feel like these are actually the best two 2D ones to go head-to-head. Because let's see, this one introduces us to Amy, so that's already, this one has Metal, introduces us to Metal too, and he's a baller character. Also, side note, I like the American art better than Japanese art, don't hurt me, because I'm ready to fight. So the gimmick of this one is like the future and past thing, and then the gimmick of this one is just going down the stage like basic Sonic. They both definitely have their set of problems in design, but also the story is better here. Music, I think this one actually takes the win. I love Green Hill, Starlight, there's some bangers here, but Palm Tree Panic, Stardust Speedway alone, like, is so good. And we got You Can Do Anything and Sonic Boom. Some of the, if I'm correct, the first vocals, I could be wrong though. I'll have to give it to CD too, just because I also think the level design is better. No, okay, I love Black Knight to death, and I unironically love Sonic 06. The game, honestly, I feel like when you're not trying to force glitches, it's not as glitchy as people say. Because, like, I never really had many problems. But, man, Black Knight's story is better than 06. The music in both these games is absolutely amazing. Though, I think Sonic 06 is more in-game amazing. Because I feel like I can listen to more Black Knight tracks outside of their games and the environment it's in. If that makes sense. And Sonic the Black Knight has the best characterization of Sonic, in my opinion, and it also, it's funny, it's like, this is early Jason and late Jason, so you, like, if you compare the two, you can see how much he evolved, and yet Black Knight, just, oh, man, yeah, it's better than 06, even with its controls. Man, again, it's funny, haha, Sonic R joke. Though, like I said in my Sonic Colors videos, I've definitely grown up with it, and it's nostalgic for me. And Sonic R I really like too. I love the music. The Sonic Colors, like I said, side game versus, I said Sonic Riders are the best, but also I feel like Sonic R, if it was designed better, could be better. Just as a running racing game, these characters can work. And also, like I said, kind of just feel bad for these side games facing main lines. And here we go. Wow, the earliest, and at the time of making this video, the latest of Roger's lineup. Story-wise, already Frontiers wins. Music-wise, Frontiers wins. Actually, like, vocals aside, but also this one comes with Reach and Speak With Your Heart, which are also amazing. But I wouldn't say they're better than the vocals of Frontiers. Like, I know this isn't about the music, but that's also a big part of Sonic and something he's most recognizable for. I don't know. Well, I don't need to bait too long on music. Gameplay-wise, Frontiers definitely carries, because Colors, we've had Unleashed, which did boost best, and Generations, which does it second best, so it's still good boost formula, but it's not as good as the ones before it. And this is a whole introduction to Sonic that, while it still has a lot to work on, is really fun, and like I said, great potential here, so I just gotta go to Frontiers, and I'm pretty sure that's a bigger game and has less filler. Okay, so Sonic Unleashed. So the two reasons I'm gonna pick Unleashed. Well, let's see. For one, I think it does its characters better and has a more interesting story. Except I think Shadows is really good in Heroes, but that's one of 4. Characters are done better, stories done better in Unleashed. I like the music more in Unleashed. Unleashed music is crazy, though everyone knows that's kind of crazy. I mean, Sonic Heroes, like, the controls are way less comfortable than anything of Werehog or Modern Sonic. Like I said, Modern Sonic boost Modern Sonic in Unleashed is the best in this game. In Heroes is just so clunky sometimes, and some levels go on for way too long. And the only one I'd say that for here is Eggman Land. So, and I mean, there's also 2 versions of this game, and they're both really good. So, yeah. Secret Rings versus Rush. So both I really like, and both have really interesting stories and fun environments. Though I'd say the level design of Rush is better, and obviously the controls are way better. And we got Blaze, so. Mania versus Zero Gravity. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna have to get to Mania again. Like, these side games won't last as long just because there's just a bigger package in mainline games. So here's the thing, these both, I don't think, like, have a huge story. And for Generations, I'm not too fond of the 2D in Modern or Classic Sonic. Like, I'll do it, but it's not my favorite parts. But I really like the 2D of Sonic CD. The music / remixes are really good in Generations. I guess that also has 2 versions, like Unleashed, the 3DS as well, which is pretty solid as well. I don't know, like, I'm not as huge of a Generations guy as a lot of people are, and I grew up with that one too. I had that before Unleashed and 06, so it's tough though. I really like CD. What Generations has is just really fun design and a lot of content, for sure, a lot of content. I think I'll just have to go to Gens, but how you heard me there, I don't think I'll last long. So, I already made my piece about Sonic 3, how it's not really there for me, and I gave all my praise to Black Knight. I would rather listen to, like, I think there's good remixes here, but I love the guitar especially, but I also love the orchestra. This also has my favorite song, Night of the Wind, and then it has Through the Fire with Me. And there's Live Life. Like, this one has a bunch of cool vocal tracks, and I guess this one has none. I guess that goes with the times, but you get my point. This one does have the introduction to Knuckles, which is pretty sweet. But I don't know, I feel like this game's overhyped. I'm gonna have to give it to Black Knight. SA2 and Rush Adventure. Another game I think is overhyped. But still, because, like, Sonic is fun to play, Blaze is fun to play. And, like, only a third of this game I love, which is Sonic and Shadow. And then Rouge and Knuckles. See, the problem is I've been playing SA2 with mods that make the game better, mainly with the other characters. Looking at this without mods, Sonic Adventure 2, the Knuckles and Rouge stages take forever and aren't as fun as SA1. Then Tails and Eggman are just worse versions of Gamma. So that's just 2/3 of the game. That's not only the 3 styles of gameplay, but also this one has 2 styles, and they're kind of similar. So I mean, at least this one has 3 styles, and they're all different. And it's a bigger game, better stories, better music, so... Oh no! I love these games. Okay, well, Sonic Adventure 1 has a bigger story, I'd say has better level design. It is all 3D, and I love 3D games, if you couldn't tell. But Sonic 2 has some of my favorite 2D design, and I can also say here it's my favorite 2D Sonic game. This is hard. And I guess I have to say it's my favorite 2D because, yeah, I know I'm leaning towards adventure. No! Oh, man, no. Okay. This one has more content and better gameplay and some of the hypest Sonic final bosses. But this one also has a hype final boss as well. So it's like, has some of the best vocal tracks, but also this one has some really good ones. But yeah, music, I'd say Black Knight wins. Gameplay, Frontiers. Story, I don't know. I have gripes with Frontiers, and I don't have as much here because this is also not really set in main universe. It's set in the storybook. So inside the universe of Sonic, I guess. I think gameplay alone, because that is kind of the biggest part of a game. I'll have to give it to Frontiers. Unleash versus Rush. So Unleash is a bigger game. That's the hard thing too, is just like the handhelds as well against the big console ones. They're going to have less content. And like I said, Werehog definitely overhated. I feel like people dunk on Werehog just because he's slow and the jazz theme. Yes, jazz theme, I understand. But just the boost, considering they both have boost, and I like Unleashed has like the best boost modern Sonic, I have to go to Unleashed. And here's my favorite debate ever. Sonic 1 Adventure 1 versus Adventure 2. Like I said before, 6 characters, 3 playstyles. 6 characters, 6 playstyles. Sonic's different, Tails is different, Knuckles is different, Amy is different, Big is different, Gamma's different. Amy is slow, but I like her levels. Big, I don't like his levels. Knuckles, Tails, and Sonic are the highlights, and Gamma's still fun. SA2, however, Sonic and Shadow are amazing. Knuckles and Rouge are okay, and Eggman and Tails are not good to me at all. And both stories are really good. This one I feel like gets overhyped because of Shadow, even though Shadow is amazing, but this one's still really, really good and entertaining. I really would love to see both games remade though, just to make a perfect package, but... And music, that's also hard because both have amazing tracks, and they're both in like the same style, so that one's hard to pick. But honestly, for gameplay alone, I'll have to give it to Adventure. Gens versus Mania. So here's the stinky thing, is that Mania I don't like as much as Sonic 2, but Sonic 2 lost because it was against a game I like more. Generations does have 3D Sonic, but also it's 3D 2D Sonic, and it's not the best boost Sonic, and then half the game's this guy too. And I think the 2D's designed better in this game, more characters to choose from, so I'll have to give it to Mania. Alright, well, I just gave my piece about Mania, and since if I haven't lost my brain, Sonic Adventure already beat Sonic the Hedgehog 2, either way, so I've given my pieces, so it's pretty obvious I'm picking Adventure. Frontiers versus Unleashed. Now this is an interesting one. So let's see. So Sonic Frontiers, I think, is a bigger game. But also, I'll give Unleashed this. It has 2 versions, which I mean, that's still like probably more money to pay to play both. But still, I guess I've mostly been comparing it to Xbox 360, but I can also compare it to the Wii version. You could my issues with this game outweigh my issues with this game. In this game, I don't have as many issues except like the sun medals, and yeah, there's too many Werehog stages at some points. This game though, the combat can get tedious, you can get way too overpowered too quick. Momentum should have been in the game, which I think they're working on. That's the only stinky thing, is there's still 2 updates to come that are going to improve this game and add stuff to it. So maybe my opinion will change, but as of now, I've definitely given it to Unleashed. And the final round, SA1 versus Sonic Unleashed. So this game has 2 play styles, this game has 6. If you took out Amy and Big, the worst of the 2, then you still got 4. And even if you took out Tails, because he's a lot like Sonic, but not entirely, so then you still got 3, and they're all good fun to play. And also, each character has a really good story and adventure. Sonic's is kind of basic. Tails has a character arc though. Knuckles just kind of learns more about his past. Amy has a character arc. Biggs is just like But I think someone interesting brought up is that Big is just kind of like the bystander that kind of gets caught up in the mess, which is interesting design. And Gem has a really good story, kind of a cool way to look at the perspective of some of Eggman's enemies. It's cool to see what Eggman's up to as well. I like that, and I think that's something they started bringing in future games like Unleashed and moving forward, which is what I really like. I like that they started doing that. Unleashed doesn't have as good a story as this, but also has really good dynamics, especially with Chip and all the other characters. But the issues, but the Werehog takes up like half the game, while like say Big takes up like a little bit. Like I said, I don't hate the Werehog, but he can get annoying at times, and his levels can get a bit long. But so can Big's, but Big's also a little part of the game compared to the whole package. I don't know, this is still kind of difficult. Even though I gave a lot of praise to this game, the boost stages are so good. They're the best of the bunch, the environments are awesome, but also the environments are fun here, and it's got a cooler hub world than Unleashed. Yeah, you know what, I feel like it's kind of obvious, but the dub goes here to Sonic Adventure. Let's see the rankings, and how much I agree with them. I don't know if it'll show my rankings, but well, maybe it will. I guess not the whole thing, but yes, so Sonic Adventure is my favorite, and Sonic Unleashed is my second favorite, and Frontiers is my third, which is actually the top 3. I didn't actually expect it to go that way entirely, but I think what's nice about doing this stuff is it lets me put out my positives and negatives in a way. It's almost like mini reviews packaged. But anyway, that's my list. If you haven't, get this game on Steam, get Sonic Generations on Steam, and get the Unleashed project, and you'll have 2 games in one. Get all these games on Steam if you can, honestly, they're amazing. This one was way shorter than the music, which is kind of nice, because that's a very long video for some people to sit through. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time I'm on whoops. Next time on this site, it will be Mario related, I promise. I'm still a Mario-centric channel, guys, do not worry.